Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another layout using my August kit from Cheeky Studio. It is featuring a few Amy Tangerine pattern papers and the exclusive dies or die cuts from Cheeky Studios, and also the Notebook Nancy ephemera pack from Cheeky Studio, and then a few other stickers that are in there too. So with the kit we got a sheet of sketches which had 4 sketches, and the last time I used one of the sketches and absolutely loved the layout that I did, so this time I decided to use the sketch that's just right above the one that I used last time. So it's where those little cards are all sitting. I'm going to do that layout or that sketch right there. Now this pattern paper here with the cameras on the back side, I did not want to waste those cameras, but I didn't have that many pattern papers left, so I wanted to use that as the strip. It's about 4.5 inches, so I knew my pictures were going to go on that. So as you can tell, there's 2 big holes there, but that's okay. I'm going to put some cardstock on the back because I don't like it when I put down my pattern paper that it's glued to nothing. So I do put some leftover cardstock. I matted my photos on the leftover cardstock, which was in pink, and those 2 photos are about 3 by 4.5. And one of them is a selfie of my husband and I, and the other one is the trail that we did. So I'll talk a little bit about the trail in a few minutes. So the sketch had about a 5-inch piece or 4.5-inch piece across, and then it had 3 photos. I put 2 photos in somewhere where I can journal. It also had a banner. So I cut a piece of the pattern paper and I'm just cutting it in half so that I can stretch it and make it, look like it goes all the way behind the photo. And then it had two small pieces of pattern paper on top and the bottom of the layout, and those were just little pieces. I think they were like 2 by maybe 5 or 6 inches, and I just again cut it in 2, and then I was able to split it up at the top and the bottom of the layout. I wanted another layer. There was a tag, but I didn't have really any pattern papers that coordinate really well, so I thought, well, just cut the inside of the cardstock and make yourself a tag that way, and then I don't have to cut into any other of the pattern papers. And none of them really coordinated well with the layout, and this one, the pink, I matted my photos in pink, so that worked out really good. Now I know I want to use one of those cameras from that pattern paper. I know I'm going to be cutting those apart for, well, I think I have 12 or 13 of them now that I saved the center, and I'm going to keep them all so that I can cut them apart. I'm going to grab one of those little girls from the Notebook Nancy. She just has sunglasses on, and both my husband and I have sunglasses on. And then I'm going to use a couple of the cameras and some of the flowers. Now I grabbed some ink, some distress ink, the black soot, and I'm going to ink the edges of all the pattern papers and all the embellishments and everything. And now it's time to start cutting or gluing everything down. So I glued down the first layer and the picture, and then when I got to this part, I like this, and then when I flipped it over and went to put the ATG, I was like, hey, do I like the pattern papers with the flowers more? And if it wouldn't have been for the other pattern paper on top of that, the one with all the words, I would have kept the flowers. But I found that the words really got lost within the flowers. When I look at it on the screen right now, it didn't look as busy, but when I was looking at it in person, it was too busy for what I liked that day. And that's what I find is sometimes, as I'm scrapping, I find something, like whether I like something or I don't like something, and then when I go back and I do the voiceover, I'm like, hey, that didn't look that bad. I could have left it with that. And I think that's why that sometimes if you feel like you just can't get something, like you just keep looking at it and it's just not working, sometimes it's best just to walk away and come back another day and then try it again. And just having that fresh look at it, you can, find something maybe a little different. So now that I know where I want to put my embellishments, I normally put one with my journaling. I decided to put one where I'm going to have that tag, and then I put one right at the bottom right of the layout. A lot of times for the sketches, I go with the sketch for the beginning, like for the meat of the layout, and then when I start adding like the veggies and stuff, like the embellishments and everything, that I kind of just go with how I feel. I couldn't even tell you if the embellishments are where it's said to put them on the sketch, because once I get to that stage, I just start playing with embellishments. I think playing with the embellishments is one of my favorite things, like for scrapbooking, like as I'm doing the page, when I get to the embellishments, I love that. I love playing with the little ephemeras and the little flowers and, the different types of embellishments, and layering them and seeing how you can make everything look like they belong together. Then once I have everything glued down, I looked at it and I said, okay, usually I like to have like finishing edges, so little borders. So I went into my stash and grabbed some washi tape, and I'm just going to put it at the top and the bottom of the layout. Now, while I'm doing that and finishing up the layout, I just want to remind you that if you want to know anything about Cheeky Studios, I'll have everything in the description box below, on the website, about the Facebook group, and also I have a discount code, Nicole Jones 911, that you can apply to all your orders for 10% off, except for the kit. The kit you can't apply the 10% off, the monthly kit, but everything else you can. So again, just everything down in the description box below. Now I want to talk a little bit about this picture, or these pictures, and what it represented. So I've been talking about all summer that my husband and I wanted to go on this huge walk. It was 35 kilometers. It was an old railroad track that they took down, but now it's part of the NB Trail. And so, okay, I'll tell you some of the facts of the day. So time left, we left at 9:19 in the morning, because that day was actually not one of our scorching hot days. Time that we were done, we ended up walking 37 kilometers, because it was an extra 2 kilometers to get to the road where someone could pick us up. So we got there at 16:55. So we did 37 kilometers. Number of steps was 45,639 steps. The part we left Salisbury, and we ended in Weldon. The weather, it was sunny and it was 23 degrees, so perfect for walking. This was on August 17th. I put who, it was my husband and I, how old we were, and that it was good times. And I'm going to do a few more layouts because, of course, a few things happened during that walk, but I thought this was a good start to that story. And that's it. That's going to complete this layout. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. If you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, and maybe leave me a comment down below. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.